Welcome to Special Project, the Atoms Part 1. So, in the book, we're going to go through a number of sections similar to this one, where we learn about various atoms or elements on the periodic table. So, atoms are the building blocks of matter. These are the smallest particles of an element that act like that element. There are roughly 100 types of atoms that we know of, and each type of atom is what we call an element. And a sample of an element is composed of just one type of atom. For example, aluminum foil is composed only of aluminum atoms. Graphite, which is pencil lead, is composed of carbon atoms and nothing else. If an element is in its most stable form at room temperature and pressure, it's called its elemental form. It's in its elemental form. We arrange the elements on the periodic table so that we can quickly look up a number of properties about the elements. Each element has a name and a symbol. The symbol is either one or two letters. The first letter is always capitalized. The second letter is always lowercase, which means that you need to be really careful when you're writing element symbols. For the first letter must always be capitalized. The second letter must always be lowercase. If you write the second letter capitalized, you've now made that from one atom or one element into two element symbols. And now it means something totally different. So, in most chemistry classes, we're going to discuss about 40 of the elements, at least for general chemistry classes. You're going to save yourself a lot of time if you learn the names, symbols, and locations of these elements on the periodic table. Don't bother learning the atomic masses or the atomic numbers necessarily. As long as you can find them on the periodic table, you can find the atomic number or the atomic mass very easily. But you should know the name, symbol, and location of these roughly 40 elements on the periodic table. So we're going to go through and we're going to learn these 40 or so in parts. So the first part is to learn the first 12 elements. So this is hydrogen through magnesium. You need to memorize the name, memorize the symbol, and position of the element in the periodic table. For each element, given either the symbol or the name, you should be able to write the other one. You should be able to fill in an empty chart like the one in the book, in this section, 1.4, with the names and symbols of these elements in their correct locations. So, if I give you an empty periodic table, you should be able to fill in these 12 elements with their names and the symbols exactly where they're supposed to go. So, in order to do this, I recommend drawing in your notebook several charts like the one in the book, and continue practicing filling in all 12 names and 12 symbols until you can do all 12 of them from memory with no mistakes. If you make any mistakes, repeat, draw another chart, and repeat and repeat and repeat this until you can consistently fill in the table with these 12 elements without making any mistakes. So, save your work because we're going to return to this project throughout the semester. Every couple of chapters we're going to come back and learn a few more elements, and you're going to need your work to come back to it and review the elements that you've already learned. So that was Special Project, the Atoms Part 1.